You can take that. Go ahead, Gary.
Was it just Williams?
Go ahead.
Call to order.
Director Neal?
Record?
Here. Director Record? Director Record?
Here.
Director Stuff?
Here.
Director Dool?
Director Ben is here.
Director Ben? Director Dool? Please let the record show that Director Wellman is absent and Chair Sassnick is absent.
All right, flag salute. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this is our public comment. This portion of the meeting is reserved for any person desiring to address the board on any matter not on the agenda and over which the board has jurisdiction. Please be advised, however, Brown Act prohibits action on items that are not listed on the agenda or properly added to the agenda under the provisions of the Brown Act. Board members may, however, respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask a question for clarification or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Also, the board may take action to direct staff to place a matter on future agendas. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Please step to the podium and state your name for the record before making your comments.
Good morning. Robert Bowers, I'm from Woodward West. I'm your liaison, I guess, for the next 45 days or so. I just wanted to let you guys know that everything is proceeding. Can't give you any direct information as of yet, but hoping to close by the 1st of February. So the new owner will be in control of it after that. So far, we haven't had any major problems, so everything's going great, and it looks like everything's going to go. Have one more inspection to get done, and that'll be it, and it'll be swapped over. But I've talked to the new owner. I'm trying to get him to come here, but he's a little bit busy right now. But I'll try to see, hopefully by January, or by the next meeting in January, we'll have something concrete for you. It'll be
awesome.
That's all.
Anyway. Well, you will be missed. You've been at...
Well, I'll still be here.
Okay, good.
For now, I will be here.
Okay.
So.
Good.
Question, new owner?
I was thinking it, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's all I can tell you for
But
now.
It has been sold.
It is in escrow, I can tell you that.
Can you tell us if it's all parcels or just the initial big parcel?
It's the entire thing. It's the lodge, hilltop area. Mm-hmm. It's the firehouse area, the campground area, the admin building, and all 6 lots that we own on, on Augusta. Okay. The 2 on Augusta and then the 4 that are adjacent to those on Stallion Springs. They told him point blank, all or nothing. So wow. He gets everything.
Crazy.
So hopefully 1st of February everything will be over.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tag.
Go ahead.
No.
You're doing great.
Is there anybody else? All right, we will move on to number 5. Board of Directors time. This portion of the meeting is reserved for directors to present to the board and the public information, announcements, and items that have come to their attention. No formal action will be taken. A director may request that an item be placed on a future agenda for consideration.
Well, I have a couple of questions for the general manager, but I can save it for the end for your time if you'd like. That's nothing to put on any agenda.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I guess we'll be jumping to number 6, the annual audit. Report by Paul Kmart, which I believe is coming to the podium right now.
Yes.
Public questions, comments, board of directors questions, comments, and acceptance of audit. All right.
Good evening, everybody. Paul Kmark here from Nigro to present to you the results of fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. We have a short presentation here for you that will go over some items that we must say as your auditor. The overall start with the scope of work. We're to perform the audit test work of the entity's annual financial statements report and to report on the entity's internal controls over financial reporting and on compliance in accordance with government auditing standards, as you are a government agency in the state of California. Our responsibility in accordance with professional standards is to form and express an opinion about whether the annual financial statements results that are prepared by management are presented fairly in all material respects in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. Our responsibility is to plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance, not absolute, about whether the annual financial statements are free of material misstatements. And we're to consider the entity's internal controls and segregation of duties over accounting procedures and financial reporting as we perform our audit test work. Such considerations were solely for the purpose of determining our audit procedures and not to provide any assurance concerning such internal controls. We're giving you an opinion on financial reporting and financial reporting only, not all the internal controls in the accounting department. So, just that. The audit results, we're issuing tonight a unmodified opinion, that is a clean opinion, we don't want to modify that language, has been issued on the annual financial statements. The annual financial statements are fairly presented on all material respects. The adopted significant accounting policies have been consistently applied throughout the report. Estimates are considered reasonable for those non-cash items such as depreciation and your pension expenses. New GASB pronouncements were adopted this year, one for compensated absences and one for risk assessment. Required disclosures have been properly reflected in the annual financial statements throughout the report. The AICPA has issued AUC 265 in communicating internal control related matters identified in an audit. And we're to say to you tonight that there were no material issues that arose to be reported to the governing board or management. And if there were any minor issues, they were discussed orally and corrected by management at that time. So how do we make it better? We want to be an auditor, but if we see something, we want to say something, we like to provide information. We get to see so many other great clients in the state of California here that we like to share best practice solutions. So if anything comes up during the course of the audit, we like to bring that to your attention. We talk about many different things during the course of the audit, the interim, the final, and stuff. So if anything comes up, we like to share that, and we consider that your audit ROI. So from that, we'll move to the next page overall here. Get a bigger glimpse there of that. There we go. If you scroll up just a little bit right there. So this is the governmental funds, okay? So this is park, the general fund, policing, and the road funds overall that we're talking about here before we get into the enterprise funds of water, wastewater, and trash. So a little bit here on what's going on here. The changes between the years there, we see a little bit down in revenues in the general assessment. Special assessment out there, that's kind of fading away. Other little small charges for services, very consistent between the two periods there, $24,000, $25,000. Parks charges for services were down a bit, $23,445 for the year, and there was no parks grant revenue this year, but came in during the year, so we see it down for that as well. The police special assessment still coming in, very comparable between the two periods there. Charges for services up just a little bit there. Police, the federal and state aid, this is the one big, it was called COPS before, I don't know if it's still called COPS. The big grant comes from the feds there for policing services. And the special assessment overall for road coming in strong there as well, and other little charges for services for road. So looking at the revenue there, the operating revenue, stuff that you kind of have control over that we talk about, was down about 187, 158 for those funds overall. Now, when we look here at the property taxes in the non-operating stuff, so stuff you have control is operations, stuff you don't have control or one-time things that don't belong there, like a sale of a fixed asset one time or something. You don't set the property tax rates and you don't set the investment earnings. So here overall, property tax rates came in at 8.3% more to the district for the year, up $93,463. Investment earnings in the general fund came in about $172 there overall. So total revenues very comparable, at $90,000 off, due primarily to the no grant revenue in the parks overall for this fiscal period there. So down about $90,000 for the year in those overall. Then we look at the operating expenditures coming across. We got an increase in police, a little bit down there in roads. So increase in your operating expenses about $88,824. Depreciation expense coming in the same between the two periods there, no additions that had occurred during the year, so we're still depreciating the rest of the stock that's out there. So change in revenues and expenses were the positive of $91,821 versus the prior year to the positive of $271,668. Of course, most of that is that grant overall there from in the Parks Department. So if we look at capital asset additions there, how do we go from our change here? We see cash and investments overall went up $411,000, okay? But we had no fixed asset additions here, but our bottom line says only $91,821. Why? Well, one reason you didn't buy any new capital assets. You didn't use the cash, but you had a depreciation expense of $388,699 to depreciate that old stock, the old fixed assets that you had on the books there. But we can then add that back as cash because nothing was spent there, because that's a non-cash item. But you didn't have a principal payment, so you did, as you pay down more principal, you should be paying less interest. So we'll see that there, the principal being paid down on the road fund, overall $157,633 on the principal payment. So we get to go down here and look at the quick summary. We start with the $91,821. We look at the change in the capital assets. We're going to bring that back because depreciation is non-cash. So we have all that cash back. We used cash to pay for debt service, and our pension and compensated absences expenditures were $77,745. So those are non-cash because they're estimates for your vacation payable that we didn't pay yet, and the estimate for your pension that we didn't pay yet. It's a long-term change in life code. So we'll bring that cash back from the estimate. So we'll see the change in cash and investments here, $400,000 versus $411, about $10,000 off in minor other little ones. But these are the big ones that make changes in the change between your bottom line there of 91 and the change in cash to the tune of $411,379 to the increase overall. And your investment earnings here in this portfolio overall, it changes between the two, just how cash is managed between the two. So the 2.59, not too bad overall. So, because investment management takes what? Management. Got to move money around. So, any questions there on the governmental funds? To the positive, mainly positive to the cash overall on a full accrual basis. We see the positive 411 there. So, moving on now to the enterprise funds. We'll be talking about water, sewer, and solid waste here. So if we take a look at the operating revenues that you're set during 2018 overall, we see that the water changes. We see a little increase there, 64,000. Sewer up 12. Solid waste down 24,379 overall. So an increase there in our operating revenues across the board in all three funds, 52,634. And investment earnings over here down to 93,394 versus 130 in the prior year. So that's down 36,996. We come over here, capital contributions, any new connection fees that came in. We had $92,052 in new connection fees there. So we look at total revenues overall, 2.145 versus 2,091 for the year. That's positive about $54,000 for the year. Going down here, looking at operating expenses across the board there. Water department increased about $30,000. Sewer did decrease $182,287. That's good for that department there. A lot of repairs and maintenance, as I remember, in 2024. Solid waste overall did increase to $213,470. The cost of that up about $28,339. So we look at this operating expenses before depreciation, 1.8 versus 1.9. So we're down about $125,000 in expenditures. Good. Depreciation expense came across the board as $551, $377, $539. Both estimates just up $11,000 there. Total operating expenses, 2.3 versus 2.4, and some interest expense on the debt, paying that down, $57,815 versus $71,600 there between the two periods there. So, change in the revenues and expenses to the negative, overall $261,056 versus negative $441,313 between the two periods there. Now we look down here at change in cash and investments, although cash and investments overall in these funds went down $378.58 because we had some capital asset additions there, $122,961, and I think we paid off some debt, didn't we, overall? Yeah. Paying off that debt, utilizing the cash on hand, that's why the principal is up to $568,972 versus $318 in the prior year, so paid off one of the lines of debt there overall, so that's going to be a significant chunk that's going to add to the reduction in cash. Quick summary, there we are, $261,056. Change in your capital expenditures there. We're gonna add back $428,416 in cash, but then we're gonna take it out in utilization there in the principal paid on the debt service, negative $401,612 versus the $378,558, we're about $30,000 off on the balance sheet. But your investment earnings to your portfolio there, 3.7% overall, so not too bad. So, good year, paid off some debt. Sewer had less expenditures than the prior year. Moving forward, so that's kind of how we put this in historical context. This is kind of a quick summary for you, how the numbers came to rest at the end of fiscal year 2025. So, any questions? Numbers are what they are. I'll ask the board for a receive and file of the financials. We'll get the final signed copies over to Laura Lynn and be done for the year for 2025.
Can I make a motion?
So there's a sheet, Leslie,
Thanks.
can you give it to
Oh, man.
Jeff?
That's all you, man.
All right.
That's for eyes.
Yeah.
So you can just basically say,
All those that approve.
Okay, so those in,
Yep.
wait, say it again?
You got it.
I need a motion to receive.
Oh, I need a motion to receive and file.
I'll second.
Awesome. All in
And
favor?
Who was first?
Aye.
Who was first?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Motion to receive and file the auditor's report.
And Wellman, you'll be second.
You got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Hope not.
All right, motion carries.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.
You too,
Merry
Mandy.
Christmas, Happy New Year to you
for all your
too. Thank you.
I'm just gonna breeze through here, give me just a second, it's a big report.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly go through this.
Thank you for taking over.
Very welcome.
You're doing great, Jeff.
Awesome.
Doing great.
Thanks. I do well with praise. All right, next. We're on number 7, the police report.
Good evening, community, Madam General Manager, Board of Directors.
Good evening.
We had a little bit of a dip in our calls for service and reports. However, that's a little bit misleading because we were very busy with some other things that we'll address in a minute. We had 119 reports, 134 calls for service, 4 call-outs, 4 assists other agencies, 8 vacation house checks, and 3 medical assists. We did have kind of a high-profile incident in regards to animal abuse. On the 19th, officers were dispatched to the transfer site for a suspicious circumstances investigation. A concerned citizen notified Public Works after hearing what sounded like a small animal coming from the trash receptacle. A Public Works employee retrieved the trash bag and discovered a newborn puppy inside. The puppy was cold, distressed, and needed immediate medical attention. Our office was working tirelessly to try to locate the individual responsible for it, which we were successful. We were able to identify a 62-year-old male subject. The next day, we conducted a search warrant with Kern County Sheriff's Department and Kern County Animal Services, where we located an additional puppy. Initially, we were going to put out a press release for something like this, but due to the totality of the circumstances and the investigation, we felt it probably wasn't appropriate. Again, I have to balance those things. This being such for its face value, kind of a heinous crime, sometimes there's other factors that come into play. So rather than put their name out, because as you know, when we do press release, generally we put a little bit more information, including names. We are a small community, and we don't want really this person, they're innocent until proven guilty. So we didn't want them to be, attacked by public opinion. Let the process play out. I am here to say that due to the investigation, they also filed additional charges in regards to this case. So it was a very serious case. I'm happy to say that the animal has survived and is flourishing. probably be fostered out at some point, because that's kind of what's going on now. Animal Services will be our point of contact for anything further than that. But that's just kind of the reasoning of, obviously that was a large investigation, but kind of you have a better background of why you weren't notified of such a big deal. There was a second thing that another agency put a press release in regards to. There was a missing person investigation in the 18,000 block of Sulky Lane. Our officers received information that an elderly male with dementia was out walking around. We have had contact with this subject many, many times. He voluntarily goes missing on his own accord. One time he was gone for 4 months. So we know him. He did not have dementia. He does have some other medical issues, but this was something that he voluntarily wanted to do. And anyway, we made contact. The VIPs, which is the volunteers for the Bear Valley Police Department, I do want to mention their name, Martin Duenas and Cliss Kennard, which I believe is one of our locals, is the individuals who initially had contact with our missing person. They stood by until Officer Esposito could arrive on scene, and then we transported him home. Again, we did not put anything out because we've had contact, and it wasn't a person at risk like we have had in the past. We have had a string of mostly December, I would say, but we have seen a little bit in November theft-related cases. So we have had a stolen vehicle. I guess you could say it's 2 stolen vehicles. One was a scooter, one was an actual motor vehicle. These are primarily crimes of opportunity. I think we only had, of all of these reported cases, and the only reason I'm bringing it up now, because these are December cases primarily, is that we won't have anything for a while, and this is really affecting this time of year with holidays and sometimes being distracted with things. Sometimes people can be very vocal that they do not lock their items, their cars, their homes, those things that are very personal to them. We're very fortunate to be in a community where we feel safe to do that. However, we are part of California, and we do have crime, and that's why you do have your own police department. So I know some people have been very upset at the police department of these things are occurring. But again, what I have seen is these are crimes of opportunity where primarily these things have been left unattended, open. So again, if you elect to do that for yourself, that is your own prerogative, but just know that if you do that, you open it up for the community as well. You know, you have your own opinions on if you're going to lock your items, but generally criminals come out to easy areas, right? They're looking for those opportunities, and if people are more apt to leave their things unattended, now you're attracting those criminals to continue to come into our area and start making us victims. So, you know, we do kindly ask to just be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more aware. We actually had one where someone left the key fob in the car and they stole the vehicle. Kind of not your average thing, but again, it's just one of those things that kind of leads to maybe we should try to make sure that we have our things in order before we go into our homes and residence at the end of the night. So it's the same thing of it's the holidays, you get distracted, sometimes you're leaving presents, you don't want your loved ones, you don't want your wife seeing the beautiful item that you got for the holidays, right? But then you forgot to lock your car. So try to keep things in your trunk. If you have to do that, make sure it's locked and secured. Don't leave, you know, valuable items that can entice people to start rummaging through your things. We also encourage you to have motion detectors, lights. Those are very good deterrents, making sure that your shrubs and foliage in front of your home is well trimmed and everything, because sometimes people could use that to their ability to be concealed. Also, mail security. Lots of people are getting packages delivered to their homes. We haven't, knock on wood, I don't want to mention it, but I will. We haven't had very much theft from packages that have been reported to us. Again, sometimes people go on social media and will report theft, but believe it or not, sometimes they don't report it to law enforcement for lots of varying reasons. So, again, don't leave packages out in plain view. Try to make arrangements where you could leave it at a neighbor's house or another business or establishment. If you go on vacation, try to notify the United States Postal Service that you're going to be away. If you're going to be gone from your house, tell your neighbor to park in your driveway so it looks like someone's there. There's also been an increase of identity theft. That's generally all year round, but everything coupled, there's a lot of theft and scams that are going on. Share a personal story. In November, my mother called, was crying frantically, thinking I was in a car accident. I say this facetiously because I won't even mention it. Anyway, the point being is someone called and said that I was involved in a traffic collision, and some random police department that is not the Stallion Springs Police Department said I was in the hospital and they needed to get in contact with next of kin. So they're asking very strange questions. She didn't really understand, but she thought she spoke to me because I supposedly had a broken jaw. And she hung up the phone because she thought something was odd and immediately called my wife. And at the time, I was sawing logs in my bed because it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, oddly. And my wife's like, "Yeah, he's sleeping right now. He's fine." So she let me know what happened, and it didn't get to the point of asking for any transaction or personal information, but knowing the scams that are out there, it would have ultimately got to that point. So again, this is a very common thing. It's happening to your department head of the police department. I mean, it happens to us all. I'm sure you all get unsolicited phone calls 1,000 times a month. I know certainly I am, but a lot of times people don't report it and are victims because it's kind of an embarrassing situation. But we have had residents in the past that have lost $50,000 to $100,000 on scams. So again, if you ever get a call or get an email or something doesn't seem right, please stop what you're doing, contact the police department, and then we can investigate it further. But do not give any personal information or social security information or credit card information or gift cards. I think that pretty much sums it up. Vehicles, homes, phishing scams, cybersecurity, and what we got going on for the month. I don't have anything else. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
I'd just like to add my thanks to the Public Works Department for their response in the animal abuse incident. I think so. No.
You'll also do a receive and file.
Okay, I'd like to receive and file the police report. All in favor?
We need a motion?
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Make a motion to receive and file the police report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right.
And
All right, we're gonna-
Same thing with 8.
Okay. All right. Number 8. Oh, God. It's way too early. We got to get through the calendar, all right? The consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar shall be considered routine and will be enacted by one vote. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the board or an audience member requests specific items be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. 1, approval of minutes, November 18th, 2025, regular board meeting. Number 2, approval of minutes, December 4th, December 2025, special board meeting. Number 3, reviewing of financial reports. Number 4, approval of checks for November 2025. Number 5, approval of CalPERS retirement payments. Number 6, review of well production report. I'd like to make them. Oh, wait. Somebody else needs to make a motion.
If anything needs to, if any directors want to pull an item.
Any directors want to pull an item?
And then hearing none, you'll need a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Perfect.
Getting faster. All right, now number 9. Nominations and election of the Vice President of the Stallion Springs CSD Board of Directors for the remainder of the term vacated by Don Napier, 2025 to 2027, a 2-year term.
We can have an election and a nomination for a person to become a vice president.
I nominate Jeff.
I'm sorry, did you
Do I say so?
I second that.
All in favor? Is that what we do? Do I have to accept?
Well, first of all, are you willing to serve?
I am.
Okay,
Oh, yay.
okay.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Yay.
I accept. All right.
Very nice.
Perfect example.
Perfect. I'm so excited for this. One question with that. Can I ask you a question with that?
Absolutely.
Probably should ask before. I know it's too late now. With my time frame of me being here, is there any extra expectations for me being here before 5 o'clock?
Absolutely.
During the week? Okay.
No.
That's my only concern.
You're good.
Perfect. All right. So, number 10, committee reports. Measure A committee.
We have yet to meet, and so we have nothing to report.
I don't need a motion for that, right? We're just good to go?
I have a question.
Yes.
I know we were receiving applications for the committee. Do we, with all the conversations we have, do we have a timeline on when we're gonna move forward with getting the committee filled?
The chair and vice chair of the committee need to set a meeting date, and they'll have to form a mission statement and then go through the applicants and form their committee.
Okay. So when that happens, then we formally put it in the next board, or one of the future board packages.
Correct.
Understand, thank you.
All right. Number 11, formation of an ad hoc, do I have to say ad hoc?
Yeah.
Okay. CC&R committee. Board to discuss and consider the formation of an ad hoc CC&R committee.
Now, there's a sheet that's over there, Leslie, can you pass that, the ASI?
ASI, you'll need the ASI.
And then just go ahead and read through the ASI.
All right. Subject, CC&R's ad hoc committee. Submitted by Laurel and Wyatt, General Manager. Meeting date, December 16th, 2025. Background. I only need to read the background, huh?
Yes.
All right. CC&R's is an ad hoc committee with the purpose of identifying any necessary edits and or updates to the document. Once the task is completed, the committee will dissolve. If formed, the board to nominate 2 board members to serve and recruit resident volunteers to assist, including staff. Recommendations, approve the formation, do I need to read the recommendations? Okay. Approve the formation of the CC&R's ad hoc committee and choose a chair and vice chair.
And Mr. Vice President, if I may interject, it's entirely up to this board because obviously you do have a quorum this evening, but this was a direct request from Chair Sassnett to place this on the agenda this evening. So I don't know if you would like to move forward or table.
I'd like to move forward.
Let's move forward.
I think it's been on the back burner for a very, very long time.
Again, entirely up to you. Just wanted to make sure you
Everybody,
remember that.
everybody good with that?
Was Chair Sassnett interested in being on the ad hoc
Didn't
committee?
say, I don't know. She
I'd
just
imagine so.
wanted this to be on the agenda.
She's been passionate about this for several months, if not years. So I would say yes.
Just want to make sure if we decide to make her a member of the committee, it would be unfair for her not to be here and be able to defend herself.
Yeah, we don't usually have a meeting in December, and so I think that's why she had a conflict with timing, so.
Well, I think under the circumstances, maybe we ought to put it off till
Yeah, I guess we
January.
could put it till January, because if we add her and she's not willing.
Did she very recently ask you to put this on the agenda?
It was last
At the
month.
last regular board meeting.
Oh, okay, so she didn't know she was going to be here. We say table it until we got a full board?
Let's wait till January then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you would make.
I make a motion to table this till the January's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, General Manager's Report.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So the Stallion Springs Community Services District staff, for what I've been able to determine, for the first time in history, participated in the Greater Tehachapi Hometown Christmas Parade. It was very fun. Yes, and thank you, Marlene, for your video. That was wonderful. Thank you. I just surprised me. I thought it was not. I go home. We had public works staff, park and recreation staff, and police department staff, and a couple of their family members participate. So it was fun to get out into the community and participate with that event. I think all of Tehachapi was there. There were a lot of people. Our entry ended up being number 75, and there were people behind us for quite a way. So it was a huge success.
Wow.
Bringing in the new finance director, we have sat down with individual department heads and gone over their budget versus actuals. We still need to do the police department and the park and rec department, but we've done all of the other departments. Just line item by line item and looking at where they are, budget versus actual, what kind of percentage are we hitting at this time of the year? We should not be exceeding 50%, because we're halfway through the fiscal year, right? So if we are, why? Yeah. Or if there's a category where we're way under, why? Which we do differently. And it's been very, very well received. I had a couple of department heads say they've been here for many years and didn't have that opportunity. So it's nice. It's giving them the empowerment to really understand where their department is financially. Improvements have been made heading into the new year within our administrative office for better efficiency and cost savings. We've been working on a lot of different things internally, just kind of cleaning up and reorganizing and saving on some ink and paper, so that's always a good thing. Most of the regional management meetings were dark this month, but I do plan to continue in 2026 attending all of those meetings that I can, representing Stallion Springs. December 11th, I hit my 2-year anniversary. I've been the GM for 2 years. And then our Park and Recreation Department has been extremely busy with Breakfast with Santa, Holiday Market. We're already starting to plan spring events such as our second annual Horsepower Havoc Car Show. And then we were switching gears a little bit, and we're changing the name of our spring Easter event. It's going to be a spring festival. And we're going to have our Easter egg hunt, of course, traditionally, but bring in maybe some extra food vendors, face painting, bounce house, kind of make it a spring fair, if you will. So they're working on that. And then believe it or not, I know it's December, but we're already opening lines of communication with Ashley Crumpian, who is the region Park and Recreation Manager for Bear Valley, and organizing our lifeguard certification.
Very good.
So that's all I have, unless there's questions.
I have one question. We received some information from the new budget, new financial head, and to the effect that the county is still having problems with their computer system.
Yes.
Or is that affecting our ability to do business?
Slightly. It's affecting our ability to close out months in a timely manner, because they're not reporting to us in a timely manner.
Okay.
So the County of Kern switched software programs at the end of the fiscal year and had some pretty significant programming issues internally within their program. I believe that April received an update today that I don't know the exact date of, but really we're still trying to close out into August and September. And we're waiting patiently for them to clean up their side of things. So it's been really fun. Not really. And it's countywide. It's not Stallion Springs. It's countywide. Every special district that has money at the county of Kern is in the situation.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking around for the district charter today. I don't seem to have a hard copy of it. Is it possible that could be posted? Is there a reason why it can't be posted along with the CC&Rs on our website?
Are you talking about the district titles?
Well, that too, yeah.
Okay. I will pose that question to legal. I was informed when I came on board by previous management that they were instructed by legal to remove that from the website.
Okay.
I don't know the why. I don't know if it's still relevant, so I will have to check with legal.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anything else? Then meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, guys.